Stocks are lower as I speak to you right now. The Dow is down about 0.4%, the Nasdaq down about 0.6. The S&P a little bit more than 0.25% lower, and the Russell a little bit less than 0.25% lower. Last night, we saw Japan's coincident index come in much stronger than the last read. Economic and industrial sentiment in the EU were weaker than expected this morning. Average weekly earnings in Canada came in lower than the last read. And in the US, the second quarter GDP figure was revised lower by 0.1% to 3.2%. But the quarter over quarter price index rose by 1.7% versus a forecast of 1.5%. Copper, gold, and silver all lower. The dollar higher, and crude oil is higher as I speak to you right now. Yields down across the board, but not by much. They were lower earlier this morning. 2-year is down 2 basis points on the yield side at 4.68. 5-year yield 4.30. Down 2, 10-year yield 4.29 down 2, and the 30-year yield is 4.43 down 1. 2s, 10s inversion unchanged at -49. Now we talk about that quarter over quarter price index in the GDP release. PCE data is being released tomorrow, and it's expected to be slightly milder, so keep an eye on that, as that's going to be the big market moving event for tomorrow. Central bank speakers today: Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic, Boston Fed President Lisa Collins, New York Fed President John Williams, and tonight, Bank of Japan Monetary Policy Board member Takata Hajime. Looking ahead, we get earnings after the close today. 64 companies with market caps over $1 billion, including Salesforce, Monster Beverage, HP, Okata, and Paramount. Tomorrow before the open, 83 more companies with billion-dollar market caps, including Anheuser-Busch, NetEase, Dell Technologies, Best Buy, Hormel Foods, and Hilton. Data tonight: Japanese industrial production and Japanese retail sales. Tomorrow, German employment and inflation data, Canadian GDP data, and that PCE price in the US that I mentioned earlier.